Jankowski. This will go a long way in determining whether Scobie is the #2 running back or the #3 back this game, not just for what he does on special teams, obviously. Cardinals would like to see a little bit more out of Scobie because obviously they're going to need someone to help Emmett out. He can't carry the ball 20 times a game like he used to.
Right, and he's more of a straight line runner. That's why he's on kickoff return. Then you've got Anderson as the guy that can come in, pick up the blitz, and make big plays. He's done it last year. He did it this year thus far. I think the key today, the beginning of this game, is McCown and that offense taking this first drive and marching themselves down the football field, scoring a touchdown. They really need to score their first touchdown here in this third preseason game.
Only one TD in the preseason. That was by the third group. John Navarre throwing a touchdown pass to Reggie Newhouse. There is Josh McCown talking with Alex Wood, offensive coordinator, and Dennis Green in the picture as well. Cardinals and Raiders set to kick off from Sun Devil Stadium. Arizona 0-2 in the preseason. The Raiders 1-1. And we're underway as Jankowski hammers this one. He's got one of the best legs in the NFL, but Scobie going to take it out nonetheless. Scobie past the 20 and out near the 24-yard line. So here comes Josh McCown, 14 of 22 in the preseason. Quarterback rating of 80. Just 3 NFL starts, not including preseason. There are the numbers from 2003 in limited duty.
He's a guy that can put a lot of pressure on the defense with those legs of his. We've talked about that, but he can't do it every play. Josh has got to know when to stay in the pocket and let his receivers get open downfield.
Raiders have moved to a 3-4 base defense, but they'll play a lot of 4-3. Rob Ryan is their defensive coordinator, former Cardinal assistant coach when Rob's dad, Buddy, was the head coach here in Tempe. McCown to throw on the first play. Everybody's covered, and Josh does what he does awfully well. And he picks up about 14 yards and a first down. The offensive line for the Cardinals led by Leonard Davis, who's slowly really growing into that left tackle spot. Wells, Stepanovic, Spikes, and Clement. Emmitt Smith at running back. Carl Williams becomes the #1 receiver on this team, and Freddie Jones will be counted on this year big time at tight end. There is Emmitt, 15th year out of the University of Florida. And McCown in shotgun on first down from the Cardinals 40. Josh with time, and he's going deep. Overthrown, incomplete. Trying for one of the new members of the Arizona Cardinals, but a familiar face, Lawrence Hamilton, who was in training camp with the Cardinals last year as Warren Sapp got pressure on Josh McCown.
And we're going to get to see a big matchup here. Leonard Davis versus Warren Sapp. Excuse me, that was Wells, but there's Sapp beating Leonard Davis to the outside, and those are the problems that Leonard's got to take advantage of. He can't let guys beat him inside. That's the quickest way to the quarterback.
Sapp coming over, of course, from Tampa Bay, former NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Sapp has been to 7 consecutive Pro Bowls. Running play on 2nd down and 10. Not much for Emmitt Smith, taken down by Travion Smith and Tyler Brayton. Let's look at the Raider defense. They will start in a 4-3 with Sapp playing at defensive end. And the veteran Ted Washington, who won a Super Bowl with the New England Patriots last year. Wayne Rudd, coming over from the Buccaneers, was drafted by Dennis Green of Minnesota. Philip Buchanan, terrific cornerback out of the University of Miami.
Played free safety in college. I mean, he's a guy that has got the, now he's lost a little speed, but that's what Woodson did when he came here from Pittsburgh.
3rd down and 9 at the 41. Raiders look like they're going to bring the house, so Josh changes the play. Play clock at 1. And McCown time, and he has a man. Freddie Jones with a first down catch at the 48 of Oakland. Denard Walker makes the tackle. 12-yard pickup and a first down.
One of the things we talk about that makes sense for every football team that you got to have is the ability of the of the guys up front. Look at the protection that Josh McCown has here, and he takes that protection, delivers the football to Freddie Jones, and Freddie Jones knows exactly what to do. Turn upfield, north and south, first down.
Terrific throwing lane for Josh McCown. Freddie Jones is a guy that's wanted more catches. He and Josh are very good friends off the field, work out a lot in the offseason together, playing basketball I think Freddie will become a favorite target of McCown as a flag flies on Emmitt Smith's second carry. Smith finally brought down by Danny Clark after a gain of 3 or 4. Again, a penalty flag on the field.
One thing Emmitt Smith may not have is that speed straight up the field, but he's still got those feet.
Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
The reason why that typically happens is that tight end on a tackle type run, or one that they want to try to break to the outside. His job, as you can see out here at the left side, his job is to seal that. He gets outside. There's the holding right there. Can't hold. Those are the things that kind of take away drives. It backs it up. Hate to see that. I mean, you were putting the drive together. You had pretty good momentum. Now you put yourself in a passing situation, 1st and 20.
From the 42 of Arizona. They'll go with 3 wide. Josh McCown gets to work with different receivers seemingly every single day. He already threw a pass to Lawrence Hamilton, who was with Cincinnati last year after spending training camp in Arizona. Here McCown gets sacked, fumbles the ball. Still loose, and I think the Cardinals got it back. Leonard Davis got that right paw in there and scooped it up. Akbar Bajabiamila, the younger brother of Kabir Bajabiamila, with the sack and the forced fumble on Josh McCown.
And right here, here's the matchup right there. Got Leonard Davis. Leonard goes inside. Kabir makes the play from the outside. That's a mental mistake right there. Simply put, Warren Sapp was picked up by Reggie Wells. You got to make that play. Fortunately, Leonard makes the fumble recovery.
Warren Sapp and the Raider defense forced the Cardinals into a 2nd and 24 from the 38. Play fake. And McCown slings it out to Ian Badejo. And he is wrapped up and thrown on a play, and a flag flies in at the 45-yard line. Derek Gibson may have gotten Ian Badejo in the mask. Gibson, a lot like Adrian Wilson, 4th-year safety. Gibson, a former 1st-round pick. They're waiting for big things of him in Oakland, much like the Cardinals are with Wilson.
Bottom line is, though, you don't want a face mask. We'll get the call here from the referee.
That should be a 15-yarder.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense, number 36. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
You called it. Abadeju's right there, and he just grabs the mask and yanks him down, and that's the reason why they called it. He was right at the out-of-bounds marker, and you got to let him go. They're going to call that. They want to protect guys that get hit in the head or their heads get yanked. I mean, that's one of the problems. Concussions in the NFL. The league has put in rules to protect, especially the quarterback and receivers going across the middle.
I think the Raiders invented the term dumb penalty, though.
Yeah, they are a well-penalized football team.
I mean, even when they're winning Super Bowls and going to Super Bowls, they get penalized more than most teams in the NFL. First down at the 40, and McCown stepping up and then getting sacked by Travion Smith. Raiders are bringing it tonight.
What I really liked about that, Josh McCown stepped up in the pocket. He didn't just take off running. He was trying to allow his receivers downfield to get open, but Travion got there and made that play. I mean, Josh is learning. I mean, that's the thing you've got to count on. He's a young guy. Here he is. He stepped up in the pocket. Last week, he would have just taken off and run, and he didn't. He stepped up, shuffled, had his feet correct. That's what you want. I mean, he's making progress.
2nd down and 13 at the Oakland 43. He's been sacked twice on this drive. Raiders blitz. Emmitt Smith finds a running lane and picks up about 5 yards. Nice run by Smith because there was not a lot there. Derek Gibson on the stop.
One thing Emmitt Smith is very good at, and what he did a lot in Dallas, is he lets guys overrun him. That time the linebackers overran Emmitt Smith, and then he makes his cutback. And it wasn't, you know, all the way across the field. It was one little lane, and he picked up an additional 6 yards because he let guys overrun him. He's a very smart football player and has great field and vision down there on that field.
Cardinals coming into this game 26% on 3rd down in the preseason. They got to get 8 yards to the 30-yard line. Receiver to the bottom of your screen is Carl Williams, not Brian Gilbert. 1 on the play clock. Williams changed numbers this week, 19 to 86. McCown flushed out, eyes the marker, and gets drilled, but hangs on to the ball. At the 28-yard line, Denard Walker made the hit. First down, McCown.
Like that with Josh. Now that time nobody was open downfield and Josh had no other thing to do but run the football, and Josh did it. But what Josh has got to do, he's got to make sure that he gets his head down. Emmitt Smith makes the pickup on the backside. That saved it from being sacked. But Josh, as you can see here, puts his head down and gets drilled. He can't do that. He's got to slide. He was past the marker. He's got to be smarter about that.
One of the reasons why Dennis Green named Emmitt Smith the starter back in minicamp was because of his ability to pick up blitzes, and you know with a young quarterback, Cardinals are going to get blitzed this year. Smith spinning out of a tackle and picks up 3 yards, but again, probably shouldn't have gained more than 1. Bernard Walker makes the stop on Emmitt.
Well, at this point, he's the greatest rusher in NFL history. That's the reason why. Even with 15 years in the league, he can still make guys miss. I mean, yes, he's lost a step of straight ahead speed, but you know, it's invaluable what he has with that ability to make guys miss with those little stutter steps. And if you can pick up 3 to 4 yards and keep the chains moving, that's why they brought him in here, that and for his leadership.
And Oakland was the worst rush defense in the NFL last year. A big reason why they brought in Sapp and Ted Washington. And that play clock winding down, but Denny Green has to like the drive as they've taken up about 6.5 minutes on the clock. Flag down. McCown. Receivers are covered downfield. McCown still lets it go. And Casper makes the grab inside the 5-yard line.
Really like to see that from Josh because he didn't just take off and run. The problem with this is I thought it was going to be a holding call on the Cardinals, but the Cardinals are pointing to the Raiders. So looks like it's a penalty on them, and that was a perfect 20-yard strike, finding the receiver downfield. We talked about Josh. When he got in trouble, he'd put his eyes down and start the run. Quickly, he's made that decision not to do that.
John, this might be the best drive of Josh McCown's career.
It is. And they've put him in some bad situations. 3rd and long, 2nd and long, the penalties.
Hands to the face. Defense, number 98. The penalties declined. Resolve the play. First down.
Penalties on Bobby Hamilton, 10th year out of Southern Miss.
And you're going to see the hands right here to the face. Can't do that. They're protecting guys who got it hooked in the face mask. Casper runs a nice route, nice move, sees that Josh is in trouble and breaks back. That's exactly what you're taught to do as a receiver.
The number was 90, not 98.
And you know what that is? That's just execution. That's how you make plays. Guys thinking on the same page. And you talked about Josh working with 4 or 5 different receivers. He's on cue with these guys.
Correction of the penalty on Turdell Sands, who when he was in NFL Europe, they once tied his hands together so he'd learn to use his feet, not his hands. Maybe he should have had him tied on that play. First and goal at the 4. McCown again with time. Then the pocket breaks down. Everybody's covered again. McCown. Now he lost about 4 yards. Josh got to get rid of the ball there. He lost 4 or 5 yards in the play, but hey, man, that's about the first mistake McCown's made on this drive because all the receivers are covered.
Well, they are, but at the end there, you had Carl Williams getting himself open. You can see him in the back of the end zone, but Josh should have just drilled it, but he was hesitant. He's protecting. You know, you could say he should have thrown it. He didn't, but really what he should have done is just thrown it out of bounds and instead of taking the 4-yard loss, because that little loss of yardage hurts if you want to try to pound the football on the ground here.
McCown drops into the gun. Williams at the bottom of your screen. 2nd down and goal from the 8. Here comes the blitz. McCown gets rid of it. Incomplete. Deflected at the line of scrimmage. Got pressure on McCown. So did Dwayne Rudd.
You know, before every game, we like to take the keys to the game, the Dodge keys to the game. The number one thing is we want a touchdown in the red area, red zone. We're almost there. It's 3rd down now. We also want to see some defensive line pressure. We haven't had that chance yet. The offense has been on the field. Special teams, you want good tackling. We received the ball, so that still remains to be seen.
14th play, John, of this drive for the first team Cardinal offense.
Really like that. Eating the clock up.
Looking for their first touchdown of the preseason. The first team is McCown. Good protection. Again, the receivers are covered. McCown slips a tackle. McCown into the end zone, tipped, and it is incomplete. Almost picked off by Ray Buchanan on the deflection by Dwayne Rudd. Casper, the intended receiver.
That's one of the problems when you're dealing with you know, your second and third team receivers, they've got to get open downfield. Josh McCown had an eternity to throw the football. He probably had 7 or 8 seconds. Just a fantastic job with a 3-man rush. That's something last year you would not have seen. Josh had all the time in the world, good escapability, but one thing you got to be careful of is you never throw the football back across the grain, and that was a mistake. Almost cost them, but here they're going to get a chance at a field goal.
So Emmett, the intended receiver, and 1A was Kevin Casper as Neil Rackers boots it through.
Rack 'em for Rackers.
And the Cardinals get 3 points out of that lengthy drive. Under 7 to play in the first quarter. Season 3-0 over Oakland. Cardinals partial season tickets are still available for 2004. Packages include Cardinals bobblehead dolls, access to the exclusive benefits package, and most importantly, priority towards seat selection in new Cardinals Stadium. Call right now, 602-379-0102. Neil Rackers, who's perfect in the preseason, under 40 yards, 4 for 4, and overall in the preseason, 5 out of 7 kicking field goals.
He's also perfect in tackles. He's 2 for 2. Yeah. I mean, he lost his helmet on one. You know, we call him Rack 'em for Rackers. I mean, he almost racked his brain on that one. His helmet came off, but hey, he made the big tackle, saved a touchdown.
Saved 2 touchdowns last week against San Diego. Good boot by Rackers. And the Raiders will not run this one out as Bernard Walker takes a seat in the end zone. So the Cardinals with a 3-0 lead. The Raider offense takes the field when we come back to Tempe.
In the first quarter, leading the Raiders by a score of 3-0. And guys, you mentioned it, 4-12 for the Raiders last year. That was their worst record since 1997. So they made a lot of changes. You talked about Rich Gannon's surgically repaired shoulder. He looks great in training camp so far in the first couple of preseason games. They did bring in Kerry Collins, though, and he is challenging for a spot. He's got the bigger arm. Al Davis likes to go down the field, so it should be an interesting competition. But for right now, Rich Gannon has the job. Back up to you guys.
All right, Jody, and they also have the burners at wide receiver. Al Davis always likes the track stars at receiver. Doug Gabriel caught an 89-yard pass that went for a touchdown from Kerry Collins in preseason against Dallas last week. Tyrone Wheatley is the new starting running back, replacing Charlie Garner, and he gets leveled by Ray Thompson. Not much on that first play for the Oakland offense. Barry Sims has held off the number 2 overall pick in the draft, Robert Gallery, for now. In fact, Gallery's going to play some guard tonight. Ron Stone, the veteran, coming over from San Francisco. Wheatley Crockett, the touchdown machine. Jerry Porter takes over for Tim Brown, who is let go.
This is an explosive offense. Don't kid yourself. They're going to throw the football down the field.
Jerry Rice in his 20th NFL season. We've got the number 1 and number 2 scoring players in the history of the NFL in this game. Jerry Rice, number 1 in touchdowns. Emmitt Smith, number 2 in touchdowns. Ray Thompson made the tackle on that play. Davis and Kalaji at tackle. Dockett and Berry on the outside. And LeVar Woods to the injured Carlos Dansby. And in the secondary, Dwayne Starks out again, a groin injury. Ifeanyi Ohalede takes over the starting free safety spot for Quentin Harris. And Dexter Jackson still out with a back injury.
Like to see a turnover early in this game. Haven't really seen that. We've had one this far in preseason. Like to see one early in this football game.
First down from the Raider 30. Gannon to throw, and we have a penalty flag down. Some movement on the offensive line.
Yeah, and Gannon got hit by Ray Thompson at the end of that, and he's whining about it. I guess when you're as old as he is, you don't want to take any hits, but hey, that's part of the game. That's called football, buddy.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty.
That's Ron Stone.
Still first down.
Former Pro Bowler. Well, Rich Gannon was the MVP in 2002. Then last year didn't play well, and then he got hurt. And had to have surgery on his shoulder. But he's back for his 17th NFL season. One of the more fiery guys in the NFL. And you just saw an illustration of that on that previous play.
And why is he able to do this at such an old age? I mean, for a quarterback, it's because he didn't play much his first 10 years, and he got to learn, and things slowed down for him. But he is a fantastic quarterback.
So first down and 15 at the 25. Another running play. Wheatley. And not much. Gain of 1 or 2. Ray Thompson again making the play. Russell Davis also there. Ray Thompson all over the field here early on for Arizona. 13, here's Jerry Rice. Number 80, right there. On the top of your screen, former Arizona State standout J.R. Redmond is playing fullback and receiver for the Raiders. Here's Gannon. Finds his tight end Doug Jolly. Thompson another tackle, but a gain of about 7 on the play.
Well, we're going to get a chance to look at Ray Thompson. Let's take a real good
34. Cards going to rush 4 as Gannon has tons of time. Sidearms it to Redmond. First down and more to the 45-yard line. Now, Rich Gannon is the type of guy that can throw it from his ankles. You may think it's going right, and all of a sudden his arm will come around the other way and he'll throw it to the left. There were some games a couple of years ago where he'd be looking right and he'd throw it underhand to the left side. Knows where everybody is on the field. Running play on first down, and Wheatley has the ball and powers to the 49 of Arizona before Adrian Wilson sticks him. And an exchange between Wheatley and Wilson. There are two big dudes, both about 235.
Yeah, Wheatley was a guy that, you know, has kind of come on. He's a big, ferocious type guy, but look at the popping going on down there. Watch this hit. Boom. They both hit each other, but it was a stalemate, and honestly, Wheatley won it because he got his pads lower than Adrian. One thing we talked about last week, Adrian tries to hit a lot with his chest. He's got to get lower than the other guy and deliver the blow. And he can do it. He's very physical.
Hard to hit that freight train coming that fast, untouched. When you get those legs moving at 235. Here's a play fake. And Gannon flushed out and thrown down by Wilson, but he completes it to Jolly. LeVar Woods makes the tackle at the 36-yard line, but a 13-yard pickup. Wilson did get pressure on Gannon on that delayed blitz.
Well, here's what happens here. They bring in their 2 tight end set. You know, you think they're going to throw the football to their receivers. They bring in their 2 tight ends. And Gannon, hey, he looks downfield, nobody there. He knows the release point. He just lets it go, and Doug Jolly's right there to make the catch. I mean, that's why tight ends are so valuable, and Freddie Jones on our side is going to make a lot of plays this year.
But Rich Gannon is a technician. He knows where every single guy is on the field before they get there.
That's called experience.
First down to the Arizona 36. Cardinals showing blitz. Here they come. It's picked up. And the pass nearly picked off by Ronald McKinnon.
Mac Dog, his head's everywhere.
2nd and 10. Jerry Rice at the top of the screen. Here's Wheatley. Met in the hole by McKinnon and driven down. Adrian Wilson also there. Gain of a couple on the play.
Adrian Wilson is a guy that will walk up into the box, and what we talk about is to get pressure and to stop the running plays.
3rd down and 7. Minute to go in the first quarter. And nobody in the backfield with Gannon. And Gannon calls time. Denny Green hoping the defense is going to step up on 3rd down and 7 for the Raiders from the 33 of Arizona. Gannon sacked by Vandenbosch. 2nd sack of the preseason for Kyle.
Really great to see that coming back from the 2 knee injuries. And he even said he's not as explosive as he has been in the past. But you know what made that play?
Gannon take a step the other way. Vandenbosch much more comfortable on that right side, according to Dennis Green, and that's why they moved him back to the right defensive end spot. Great kick by perhaps the best punter in the NFL, Shane Leckler. That's down to the 6-yard line. But Kyle Vandenbosch puts a stop to that drive with his 2nd sack and the Cardinals' 2nd sack of the preseason. First down at the Arizona 7. Great punt by Shane Leckler. And Josh Scobie is in the game for Emmitt Smith at running back, so Emmitt is probably done for the night. And Scobie gets the call, and he is stoned right at the line of scrimmage. John Perella comes up with the hit. So Josh McCown with a terrific first quarter, and the Cardinals lead it after 1, 3-0 over the Oakland Raiders. Into the lock. Here's the list, Jody. Fitzgerald, Johnson, Wakefield, Jackson, Shelton, Shipp, Bolden, Starks, King, Hodgins, Dansby, Poole, and now Ohalede. Wakefield out 6 to 8 weeks after suffering a stress fracture in his foot as Scobie gets pinballed to the 9-yard line. Danny Clark tackle. Gain of about 3.
Well, I like this. They're trying to pound the football. I mean, they threw the football and ran the football a little bit in that first drive, and now they're trying to run the football. Josh Scobie, as you can see thus far, is more of a straight line runner. If they'd have been handing the football off to Emmitt Smith, he would have been juking and moving a little bit more, trying to find the crease.
That's why the loss of Marcel Shipp hurts so much, because Shipp gives you both straight line and the ability to make guys miss. And Shipp obviously had a good 2003, even though he didn't have a touchdown. 3rd down and 7. And McCown stepping up and taking off. At the 15, McCown is leveled, but again, Josh able to pick up the first down to the 18. Akbar Bajabiamila made the hit, but Josh hops to his feet again.
Well, Josh, I thought, was going to stop and deliver the football. He sets up nicely in the pocket. He drifts out, but he put his head down. You see, he was not looking downfield, and that was the problem. He could not have found anybody. He was looking for the first down marker right away. Josh, even though the ability to run puts a lot of pressure on the defense, he could put a lot more pressure on the defense by running and then finding a guy wide open downfield, Dave.
And Josh is hoping to have that guy back there soon. Larry Fitzgerald, the number 3 overall pick. He likely will be healthy by the regular season opener on September 12th. As Scobie gets thrown backwards. Travian Smith with the tackle for the Raiders. You know, John, it's awfully hard to judge individual offensive linemen based on what you see here. You have to really watch the film, but Anthony Clement at right tackle has looked pretty good in the preseason, especially here tonight, and that's big if Clement can get back to where he was 2-3 years ago.
Well, you know, he had the injured back, and that hurt him a little bit, but hey, it's, as you said, it's been a couple years since that injury, and it's time for him to step up and make the plays that they're paying him for.
2nd down and 10 at the 19. Raiders showing blitz, and McCown calls a timeout, but a flag flies in. Clement may have jumped, just as I praised him, may have jumped before McCown called for time.
Reggie Wells was also moving a little bit too, so we'll wait and see what happens. 2nd and long situations. I mean, that's the problem. When you want to put yourself in 2nd and 4 or 5, 2nd and 6 or 7. Cardinals tonight, thus far, have been putting themselves in 2nd and long and relying on Josh McCown's feet.
Arizona.
So the Cardinals did get the timeout in time before 2 players jumped. So Alex Wood, offensive coordinator for the Cardinals, will talk things over with Josh McCown while we step away. Cardinals leading the Raiders 3-0 early 2nd quarter. Dennis Green, who is 5th on the active winning percentage list, regular season, 61%.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good list of guys there. Joe Gibbs at the top.
And one way Denny Green does it is he's a good evaluator. And we're going to see a lot more guys coming in and out till he finds the guys that he thinks can play. And there's nothing wrong with that. You've got to get guys that want to be on the football field and make plays for him.
Denny Green working in conjunction with VP of Football Operations Rod Graves on some personnel decisions, and Rod is expected to join John and I up here in the booth sometime in the 2nd half. We look forward, as always, to visiting with Rod as McCown gets away from one man and then throws it behind the intended receiver at the 35-yard line, Lawrence Hamilton. So it brings up 3rd down and 10.
You're going to see this offensive line does a pretty good job, but they're bringing 6 guys. So Josh is under duress there, but and look what he did. He threw the football down the field. They could have easily called a penalty that time. He took a shot to the head. Something that, you know, when talking to the referees beforehand, they said that's something they're looking for because they want to protect the quarterback against concussions and hits to the head, even if they're unintentional.
Those numbers, not really a good indication of how well Josh has played tonight, even though, as you said, John, a couple times where maybe he could have thrown it instead of running. But he's made some good decisions. His receivers have been covered. And here's a pass out on the flat to Freddie Jones, and Jones is dragged down by Gibson at the 23. Gain of about 4 yards, not enough for the first down. So the player will come out and punt it away.
No, I think Josh has done a very good job. I mean, he's run, And he's made a little bit of those fatal mistakes where he tries to be a running back when he starts to run. He's got to learn to go down and not take hits, because it's a very long season and guys are a lot bigger than him that are hitting him, especially when you get into that linebacking course.
Player to boot it away to the dangerous Philip Buchanan, who had 2 punt returns for touchdowns last year. Buchanan has trouble with it and then just gets swarmed at the 28-yard line. Obafemi Ayambadejo, Quinn Harris down there to wrap up Buchanan after a 40-70-yard punt. Josh McCown taking some hits, but also making some plays for the Cardinals here in the first half. Early second quarter, the Oakland offense is back on the field. Phoenix native and Cardinals defensive coordinator Clancy Pendergast's defense showing some life tonight.
They're running around with that defensive front. That's what we talked about. That time Adrian Wilson shoots through the gap. Dockett making some headway, putting some pressure, and then you've got both Dockett and Bertrand Berry allowing Vanden Bosch to make the big hit. And it wasn't just a tap. I mean, he drove him into the ground, and that's how you're supposed to treat quarterbacks.
There's Clancy Pendergast, University of Arizona alum, was the linebackers coach in Cleveland in 2003 and was in Dallas 1996 to 2002. Gannon to throw on the first play of this drive. And he finds Zach Crockett at the 40. Crockett picks up about 11 as he gets out of play near the 44-yard line, chased out by David Macklin. Crockett loves to score touchdowns. They all do, but Crockett gets a lot of opportunities. Had 7 touchdowns last season.
That's one of the things that the Oakland Raiders do. They bring in situational players, and Crockett is their red area guy. I mean, he can come out of the backfield and make catches. He's got soft hands. But the other thing he can do, he's big, he's physical, and he can run the football down in the red area. So that's how Al Davis is a specialist at finding guys like that.
Justin Fargo to the game. Gannon fakes it to him. Looking for Jerry Porter, and the flags fly as Porter pulls it into the 38-yard line. Adrian Wilson made the tackle. Gain of 16 or 17 yards. Jerry Porter is a stud when healthy. Had a groin injury last year. Had only 28 catches, but 2 years ago had 9 touchdowns. And he was the go-to receiver in the red zone for Rich Gannon.
Well, and
there were 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Illegal contact, number 22. Illegal contact, number 27. Both penalties at a time. Result of the play is a first down.
Well, Emmitt Smith's not playing defense, I know that, so that probably is Ronaldo Hill. I don't think Denny would put Emmitt in there at corner. Not that he couldn't play corner.
Well, what you like about Porter is he's big, he's physical, and hey, he'll go across the middle. And that's what the big-time receivers do. That's why Tim Brown's not here.
See, Emmitt's there on the bench. He's not in the game at corner, John.
No, he snuck in. That's why he's a wily veteran.
First down at the 37. But again, a point of emphasis this year, we talked about it throughout the preseason, is contact after 5 yards as Fargas takes it down to the 31-yard line. Grabbed from behind by Bertrand Berry. The Cardinals kickoff luncheon is this Wednesday at the Hyatt Regency Phoenix from 12 until 1:30. They brought some guys off the bench, including Vanden Bosch, but no number 22.
They walk him off late.
2nd and 4. Bill Vinovich is the referee. We kid because we care about you, Bill. One of the newer officials as takes it to the 29. James Darling on the play. Darling moved to the weak side this week. Was battling Ronald McKinnon for the middle linebacker spot.
Well, the other thing here, watch Bertrand Berry make this play. He goes upfield, turns the back in Vargas, right into Darling. And that's perfect football. That's team defense, guys run into the football. That's how you win football games right there.
Bertrand Berry is the best defensive lineman the Cardinals have had probably since Simeon Rice. And he'll get a chance to go back to Denver next Thursday when we wrap up the preseason. 3rd down and 3 at the 29. Vanden Bosch jumps. Was he drawn off as flags fly? There was contact. And Denny is hoping that Vanden Bosch didn't jump.
Offside.
And he did.
Defense number 93. Unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
That's a tough one because, you know, you've got that opportunity to stop them, force them to try to maybe have to kick a field goal, and now they keep the drive alive. You hate to see that, and Kyle knows it. He can't go on the hard count. Rich Gannon is one of the best in the league at that. You got to watch the football.
First down at the 24 now. Tyrone Wheatley back into the game. And Gannon to pass. Has a lot of time, and then Bertrand Berry chases him down to the 26-yard line. Bertrand Berry's first sack is a Cardinal in preseason play.
Now, what I like about that is that's once again team defense. Bertrand Berry did not get a great run at the quarterback. He got that sack, quite frankly, because of coverage downfield. He's up here in the top. He doesn't get a great angle right away. He gets chipped, and Gannon has time to throw the football. There's no one open. Bertrand Berry there to make the play. Gotta like that. I mean, this guy comes to play. He's a leader on defense, and he's really helped those guys step up their game.
2nd and 12 at the 26 of Arizona. Running play, Wheatley, huge hole to the 17-yard line for a gain of 9. Ron McKinnon on the tackle.
That's why they bring Wheatley in. I mean, this guy's 6'2", 240 pounds. He's a bruiser. They bring him in just to pound the football. And Norv Turner, he'll throw the football down the field. But the other thing is, he's always got a great staple of running backs, and he loves the running game. I mean, they help each other. You got to establish the running game to be able to throw the football down the field.
And they got Tyrone Wheatley, Justin Fargas, a 3rd-round pick last year, Troy Hambrick, and Amos Zaraway all on this team. They're not going to be able to keep everybody. It'd be interesting to see if, depending on who gets let go there, if the Cardinals look at one of those guys. Gannon to throw on 3rd down. And unable to pull it in is Doug Gabriel. So incomplete. James Darling on the coverage. And it'll be 4th down.
You're going to see something here with Gannon. I mean, this is why he's been so successful. He's going to drop back. Look at him look towards the camera, and then he goes right back to his receiver coming across the middle. And they run a nice little pick route there. Doug Gabriel just can't hang on. I mean, those are the catches you got to make.
Sebastian Janikowski, who's made 32 straight field goals inside 45 yards in the regular season. This one from 35 yards, of course. And we are tied at 3. Janikowski, perhaps the best kicker in the NFL. And we are tied at 3 midway through the 2nd quarter in preseason game number 3. At 3, there's a Kyle Vanden Bosch fan. Vanden Bosch and Bertrand Berry with sacks tonight for the Cardinals. 2 sacks in this game for Arizona after just 1 in the first 2 games combined.
It's been an outstanding performance thus far, Dave, by that defensive line. And, hey, things start and stop with those big guys up front.
Janikowski rips one deep into the end zone, and Scobie will down it. So Josh McCown of the Cardinal offense will be back on the field after Janikowski pins it deep. Cardinals will start at the 20. 3 points. Their offense has looked better tonight. Their first series of the game, maybe their best preseason.
Well, Josh McCown runs for this big 1st down. And, man, you heard that hit. Can't take too many of those. And then Casper just runs to the sideline and makes a big play for Josh McCown. And here Josh almost gets himself in trouble by trying to do too much. Throws the ball back across the field, and Buchanan should have had that.
The Neil Rackers came on for the field goal from 25 yards. Janikowski kicked one earlier this quarter, and we are McCown.
I'd like to see him drive him down with 7:46 left and get a touchdown here.
Here is Anderson. Not much running room tonight. No gain on the play. Tyler Brayton made the stop. Well, they brought Ted Washington back into the game at nose tackle.
How much do you think he weighs? I mean, they list him at 365. I think he's got 4 bills on him.
He might, man. He has been around, too. Was a Chicago Bear for a long time. And last year was let go. The Patriots picked him up. They plugged him in there at nose tackle, and he led him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he hangs out at the grocery store too much, I'm telling you.
I'd take him, though.
I would.
They got Warren Sapp playing end as well as McCown rolls out and finds Imbadejo. Flies, and so does Imbadejo as Danny Clark makes the tackle on the far side. We'll see what the penalty flag is.
You talk about Ted Washington, make guys fly around. Look at that. There's one.
And Cameron Spike
and then he's running down Imbadejo. Hey, did I pronounce that right?
No, you didn't, but that's okay. You know, Cameron Spikes is 313 pounds. He just a little soup bone there with the left hand, and goodbye, Cameron.
Yeah, 365, come on. That's 4 bones anytime you look at it. I mean, that guy's got 300 pounds of legs on him. He doesn't even fit in that helmet. He's got rolls of fat right up there by the top of his face mask. Come on. Please.
I hope you get out of here quick, or Ted gets out of here first.
Oh, he ain't going to catch me.
3rd down and 11 from the 19. McCown going deep, looking for Casper, and broken up in the last second, but a penalty flag down. Nnamdi Asomugha, who's in his 2nd year out of California.
Has a little too much contact, I think. We'll wait to hear the call. That ball was thrown a little bit behind him, so Casper had to come back a little bit, forcing a little bit of contact. Nice play by Casper.
Before the pass was thrown, holding, defense number 21. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Awesome, who doesn't believe it. Former 1st-round draft choice. Guy that the Raiders are waiting for to do something. They played him a little bit at safety last year and corner.
You know, the DBs, have you ever seen a defensive back say, oh, yeah, I did that? I mean, these guys are guys dragging them down the field. I mean, that's why they put the rule in, guys, because you were doing it too much.
Yeah. Yeah, the rule's always been there, but the point of emphasis this year is you can chuck a guy once inside of 5 yards. You can't touch him. You can't brush his jersey. You can't do anything after 5 yards. They're going to throw the penalty flag. So the Cardinals get 5 yards, but more importantly, a 1st down out of it. And a running play to Damian Anderson. And again, no room to run as Anderson gets eaten alive by Ted Washington.
Well, we're going to get a chance to see the man. And if you're watching on TV, you can see that big roll of fat that he's got up by his eyebrows. But that's what they want him to do right here. He's right there in the middle, and here he comes. Boom! I mean, Anderson, he's not going to move after he gets hit. He can't move 400 pounds. That's why, but that's what they brought him in for. He's in there to take 2 offensive players to block him, and it might take 3 of his size.
And the Raiders were dead last in rush defense last year, so they need a guy like Ted Washington. They also have Warren Sapp there. And Washington's going to make Sapp better and vice versa. 2nd and 9. And McCown trying to throw a screen to Anderson. And Dwayne Rudd was all over Anderson.
That's a good play by Josh. And I'll tell you why. They had a screen lined up.
Grounding on the play. The ball is going at the feet of number 20, an eligible receiver.
I mean, that's what Josh has got to do. That's when you talk about protecting the football. Don't try to force it in there and allow Rudd to make a big play. Throw the football at Anderson's feet. The play was not set up. And unfortunately, you'd like to have it to where you could execute it. But, hey, it's 9 rather than an interception or a big play. And that changed the whole complexion of this football game.
Hey, Josh McCown has not turned the ball over in the preseason.
He's protected the football well.
3rd down and 9 at the Arizona 25. And play clock at 0, and the penalty flag comes in, so delay against the Cardinals.
And Denny Green doesn't like that and stand on the sidelines because, I mean, you can look at the disgust in his face because that should never happen in that situation. And the reason why it shouldn't happen, Josh should call timeout. He's got to know everything that's going on around him. And, you know, it's tough. He's trying to think about the 1st down. He's trying to think about the play, who he's going to read. But you got to have your eyes on that play clock.
Cardinals have 2 timeouts left. 3rd and 14, under 6 to go in the opening half. McCown with time. Fires to Freddie Jones for the 1st down. Jones to the 38-yard line. Tackled by Gibson. 18-yard pickup. 3 catches for Freddie Jones today.
Now, I'm going to tell you something right here. This is why Damian Anderson's going to make this football team. Great offensive line play, but watch up here to the top of your screen. You see that? There was no momentum forward, and Josh McCown had a perfect angle to throw that ball to fast Freddie Jones, who's getting himself open, and we're going to see a lot of that this year.
Another good throw by Josh McCown. 1st down at the 39. McCown again to pass. Finds Casper, and Ray Buchanan wraps him up. Gain of 4 or 5 on the play. Buchanan coming over from Atlanta. Replaces Rod Woodson, who failed a physical and was let go. Buchanan moving to safety, 12th year out of Louisville. was burnt often in Atlanta as a corner, but as you said earlier, a lot of guys in their latter stages go from corner to safety. Woodson did it, and Buchanan trying to do the same thing.
I think he'll be fantastic, and he's a guy that's a ball hawk. He'll go after the football. He's almost had one pick tonight in the end zone.
Yep. 2nd and 5 at the 44-yard line. McCown going to change the play. Anderson out of the game. Scobie, the running back. And McCown trying for Hamilton. Should have been caught. Penalty flag is down. It's incomplete. Philip Buchanan on the coverage. Should have been probably caught by Lawrence Hamilton, who played 5 games with Cincinnati last year. His receivers coach was Alex Wood.
Holding. Defense number 34. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's right. Early, the Bengals picked him up. He was starting at one point last year for Cincinnati until they got all their regulars back. They had a pretty good receiving corps. First down to the 49. Casper has trouble hanging on to it, incomplete. Philip Buchanan on the coverage. Make the cut with the Cardinals and Rolfs on September 13th at the Rolfs Salon in Gainey Ranch. The 6th at the 49-yard line of Arizona. The good time and finds Carl Williams. Gets into Raider territory to the 46. Denard Walker on the stop. So 3rd down and medium range. Walker in his 8th year out of LSU was with the Vikings last year. Also played in Denver.
DBs downfield and get open.
8 of 14, 71 yards for McCown. 3rd down and 5. McCown with time and dumps it off to Casper at the 30. And Casper out of play inside the 25-yard line. Gain of over 20. Derek Gibson makes the tackle, but a 3rd down pickup by Josh McCown.
And what do we say at the beginning? This is where it starts and stops with those big guys up front. Look at the protection. Reggie Wells here has time to come back and help Leonard Davis's guys, and that gives. See, Leonard Davis does a good job, holds him off, thus holding, but we didn't see it. And that happens on every single play, but allow Casper time to get across the field, and Josh delivered the football. That's execution. Warren
Sapp, a great pass rusher. It often takes 2 guys to block him, and Wells came over to help out. First down at the 24 as we hit the 3-minute mark. Play clock winding down. Here's Scobie, and he's wrapped up from behind and taken down. Bobby.
Nope, really like to see one here.
Josh has run it 3 times for 35 yards, has 93 yards passing. 2nd and 7. And again, good protection. And McCown finds Damian Anderson. Tackled at the 20, only a 1-yard pickup. Leonard Davis doing a good job on Warren Sapp again as we hit the 2-minute warning. See what the Cardinals can do on 3rd down and 5 when we come back. Tied with the Raiders, 3 apiece. 3rd down and 5. At the 19-yard line of Oakland, McCown in the gun. Oakland rushing 3. Receivers are covered. McCown running. And then firing at the last minute and picks up the 1st down. Caught at the 10-yard line by Nate Poole, who's playing tonight despite a shoulder injury.
And he's a guy fighting for
coming of age of a young quarterback in Josh McCown. Here's Anderson. And running backwards, running an offensive lineman, getting down to about the 5-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play.
Good call that time. The Raiders had a blitz on. They were bringing just about everybody.
2nd down and goal at the 6. Anderson going to lose about 4 or 5 as John Perella was all over him.
Now this is where you want execution. Every guy up front has got to do their job, and right here, it just didn't get done.
Lorenzo Diamond, the tight end. Yep.
He missed the play, and it only takes one on offense.
Charge, timeout.
That's why it's such a team sport.
Arizona.
We'll see if they're going to change tactic. It looks like it pre-snap.
Raiders showing blitz on 3rd down and goal at the 9. Lawrence Hamilton, the receiver, at the bottom of your screen. Now he's out of the picture. 2 on the play clock. McCown just got it off. And the catch is made, but well short, obviously, of the goal line. Casper pulling it in at the 5. Do you go for it here, John, because it's preseason, or do you settle for the field goal? I'd go for it here. Why not?
I think Denny Green's going to think about it. He's going to take a timeout. And, you know, I think you got a valid point there, Dave. I mean,
and final.
You know, these games don't catch Josh McCown, but I'll tell you, we've seen a lot of it thus far tonight. He has put together 2 huge drives.
23-yard attempt for Neil Rackers. The Cardinals the lead at halftime. And Rackers nails it, and it's 6-3 Arizona going to the break.
The end of the first
Really
half.
like it. I mean, I think Josh McCown has grown an enormous amount today.
Turner. George?
Yes, I am, guys. Coach, you're behind 6-3. It's been a defensive struggle. Defense has been on the field quite a bit. Talk about the play of the defense.
Well, the biggest thing, we're doing things well physically. Obviously, we're letting them off the hook. The combination of the quarterback scrambling, the holding penalties, we've gotten them in negative situations. We just got to quit doing that.
Okay, the offense has been had 2 possessions. One resulted into a punt, the other 3 points. Get the ball coming back at the second half. What can we expect?
Well, we need to do something with the football, you know. Really didn't have many opportunities. We get the ball to start the half, got a chance to set a tempo for the entire half.
Okay, Coach, thank you. Back to you, Grant.
All right, George, we appreciate it. You see Rich Gannon. Tyrone Wheatley, his 6th season with the Raiders, as he spent the first 4 years in New York with the Giants.
And his college career in that pressure cooker in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan.
All right, here we go, and it's Gabriel and Charlton. And Gabriel 3 yards deep. And he is stopped short. Flag comes flying short of the 20-yard line, and the Raiders will have bad field position on their opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
And there's a penalty flag on the ground. But, you know, guys that are on the bubble, so to speak, are fighting for their jobs on special teams.
Holding. Receiving team number 86. After this is the goal. Oakland keeps the ball. First down.
You know, there's as many as 15 players possibly are going to make their job with Joe Avanzano on special teams.
That was the veteran Williams that time on the infraction.
Joe Avanzano, excuse me, Grant, will do a great job for the Oakland Raiders in coaching the special teams this year. You know, we've talked about him in the past. Experienced coach, came from Jimmy Johnson's staff with the Dallas Cowboys. Was there with Norv Turner. Excellent special teams coach.
As you look at Joe Avanzano, the Raiders have their big rookie in Robert Gallery. And Robert Gallery will be playing left tackle next to Frank Middleton at left guard. Rich Gannon starts the second half at quarterback. And it's Wheatley, the man we just heard from, changing directions. He's out across the 5 to the 7-yard line.
And Tyrone Wheatley's been extremely durable for the Raiders. Hasn't gotten hurt very often over the last few years for the Raiders. He finds a way to stay healthy. He takes a pounding. He's a hard runner, as Artie alluded to earlier. He takes a beating, but he keeps on ticking kind of guy.
Good job there of him changing direction in the backfield, starting to the right, coming back and getting a couple yards on the left side.
All right, 2nd down and 10. Opening drive of this, the second half. Pump fake. And a little bit behind Porter. It's incomplete. And that will make it a 3rd down for Gannon and the Raiders. You know, we talk about Gallery. You know, he hurt his elbow in practice a couple of weeks ago. He's got it bandaged up. But, you know, we talked to Norv Turner today. He said he felt that, you know, he's close to 100%. We talked to Robert Gallery. He says, hey, not going to keep him out of the game. Obviously, it's a little cumbersome.
Yeah, he said it was a little sore, but it shouldn't, you know, shouldn't get it re-injured. But that was one of that previous play that Gannon threw. Is one of his signature plays, faking a throw on the outside and coming back inside to a receiver in the seam.
All right, 3rd down and 10. Get an empty backfield. Gannon looking long, and he has his man. And Redmond does a nice job, and he gets the 1st down. Oh, good second effort. And he keeps the chains and the drive alive. Boy, that was a nice job by Redmond.
And, you know, J.R. Redmond, we talked about him before, an ex-Arizona State Sun Devil, bounced around the NFL, now hopefully has found a home with the Oakland Raiders. He's played fullback and he's played tailback. He put on 20 pounds this offseason. So again, and look down the field, just dished the ball off. But you know what? Rolando Hill is no match for J.R. Redmond in the open field.
Well, I'll tell you something else you saw in that replay. Outstanding job of blocking by Langston Walker at right tackle.
Who's having a good camp and a good preseason.
All right, so it's first down. Tyrone Wheatley. And Tyrone Wheatley with a gain of 15. Big run for Tyrone Wheatley.
And that's where his smarts come in. He's off tackle, play to the left. He sees an opening. They don't cover the backside. He cuts back against the grain, finds the hole, and turns it up the field. A great read by Tyrone Wheatley that time.
Good blocking up front, and I like the scheme too, because again, Jimmy Ray does such an excellent job, the offensive coordinator, of getting more blockers at the point of attack than there are defenders.
So first down. And far side caught. And Doug Gabriel, nice first down yardage, 7, maybe 8 yards on the play.
The Raider offense seems to be in a little bit more of a rhythm here, coming out in the second half. Dishing the ball, throwing the ball outside, looking deep, handing the ball off. Norv Turner and his extensive play calling list there that you saw him shade his mouth with does a great job of calling plays. Norv was the offensive coordinator, as we all know, for the Cowboys, the San Diego Chargers, and most recently the Miami Dolphins.
All right, 2nd and 2. You look at the offensive line. Brad Badger, right guard. True stays in at center. And we told you about Gallery playing left tackle. Frank Middleton still in there at guard. The delay to Wheatley. And Wheatley's got it going here across midfield to the 49-yard line. And you see the Raider Nation enjoying Tyrone Wheatley here in the 3rd quarter.
Here's another look at Wheatley coming up there. But I want you to watch the right tackle here, Langston Walker, doing a great job of walling off to the outside. Roland Williams doing an excellent job. Frank Middleton, number 73, down the field. The running game is not one player. It's a collective effort of those guys up front and the ball being handed off properly to the running back and the running back getting tough yardage. And guys like Langston Walker make running backs.
First down for the Oakland Raiders. Gannon, plenty of time. And underneath it's Wheatley. Tyrone Wheatley to the 45. And again, that's good first down yardage of 5 yards. 2nd and 5 for Gannon in the silver and black.
And right now they're mixing it up, run, pass, throw on first down, throw them off a little bit, keeping that defense off balance. They don't know what to expect.
You know what, this league has changed in the last 15 years to anything goes on any down. And that's why, you know, last week the Raiders threw a pass on 3rd and 1, threw a pass on 4th and 1. Anything goes these days in the National Football League in terms of play calling.
2nd and 5 at the 45 of Arizona. That's Roland Williams in motion. He'll be the lead blocker for Wheatley. And Tyrone Wheatley hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward. And it will be short of the first down, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 2.
You know, these are critical situations. 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. You got to keep possession of that ball.
Very, very hot night. Game time temperature was 102. Now you're right, punt. They are going to throw. And incomplete. That pass intended for Gabriel. 4th down for the Raiders.
And the Cardinals that time came with a 5-man blitz against the Raiders. They played man-to-man coverage with the free safety. I think Gannon was expecting zone, which is why you throw the ball to the outside on that.
Shane Leckler for the 2nd time tonight to kick it away.
His first punt was what we call a sky punt, where you try to get the ball inside the 10 and allow your cover people to down it, which they did do.
Carl Williams standing at his 10-yard line. Very good kick. And for the 2nd time in this ball game, they do just that, Artie. They down it inside the 10.
And there's a new rule in the NFL that was just utilized there. And if the return man singles for a fair catch and then does not catch the ball is dead where it hits.
All right, let's see what the penalty is. Bill Vinovich, the referee.
Bill looking, listening.
Illegal motions. Offense moving forward at the snap. Penalties decline. Arizona keeps the ball. First down.
So the
best player I can be at this level like I was at college.
Well, Steve Wisniewski, you know something about playing that position, and I'll tell you this, Robert Gallery, he is the real deal.
He certainly is. He has all the tools, physically and mentally. Great footwork, powerful, good hands for pass blocking. But more than that, he's got a great attitude and work ethic. Now he has a good number to go along with all that talent, number 76. I like what I see in Robert Gallery.
All right, Wiz, and it's Anderson. And Anderson runs into a lot of silver and black jerseys. And a short gain on the play.
You know, we just looked at Gallery as a college player, but now let's look at him as a pro player. He takes number 72, works him down the line of scrimmage. Here he's going to pass protect while Rich Gannon sets up. Does an excellent job, like Wiz said, of moving his feet. But you know what I like about him? He goes and looks for defenders even when somebody's not directly on him. Big, tough, smart, aggressive. That's why he was the second guy in the NFL draft.
First time that he's ever been to this state of Arizona. First time in Phoenix. And getting the first experience of this heat here in the desert. And there's the Raider defense again swarming all over the football as it was thrown and complete to Freddie Jones. You see Clark there, the free agent signed out of Jacksonville. And, you know, we keep on talking about players that have looked good. Hey, we are not being redundant just for the sake of being redundant. Guy, Danny Clark, is having himself one heck of a month of August.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's played very well preseason. They've liked what they've seen of him during training camp. He's making an impact down there tonight.
Instinctive. He's got a nose for the football, as we used to tell our linebackers. Good football nose.
All right, 3rd down and 5, and we've talked about the Raiders' 3rd down defense. North Turner at halftime telling George Atkinson, we let him off the hook. Let's see if they can keep him on the hook here. Here comes the blitz. And there's the defense. Beautifully done. Derrickson comes up to make the stop. It'll be 4th down as Freddie Jones could not find any daylight.
You know, Gibson nice and high.
Stop player, Ronald Curry awaiting the punt. And at the 36 is Curry. And he is hemmed in and dropped right there at the 42-43 yard line. Timeout, Raiders football when we come back on the Oakland Raiders television network. On field here, you see Robert Gallery, guys, is now switching to guard on this set after we showed you his fine play of tackle. So there are the rookies, Grove and Gallery. And incomplete. Intended for Teo Johnson.
That's Teo's first action of the night, I believe.
Yep.
The ball comes off of his hands, and he goes back to the huddle and says, hey, I'll catch it next time. Kerry Collins, the veteran he is, hey, looks to the sideline, gets the next play, and let's go. A lot of young players in that huddle. You know, you were mentioning Grove and Gallery playing next to each other. Teo Johnson, the 3rd-year man out of Stanford. This is a young group of guys on this offensive team right now.
So Kerry Collins and the silver and black, 2nd down and 10. There's Johnson in motion. And the whistle before the play. And this will be a 5-yard penalty on Raiders.
Yeah, part of it might be Kerry Collins' cadence. They're not quite used to it. They've been listening to Gannon all night.
5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So it made him.
Anderson are both in the game.
Doug Gabriel's had a couple of real big plays here in the preseason. Saw him against the 49ers and last week against the Cowboys. And a bullet pass. Speaking of Doug Gabriel, and he has it at the 45-yard line. You know, it's early in preseason, but Collins looks to be very comfortable with Doug Gabriel.
He certainly does, and that's probably the guy he works with most during training camp. Jerry Porter, Jerry Rice working with Rich Gannon, Kerry Collins working with the ones backing those 2 players up. A real fine throw by Kerry Collins, right on the money. A deep slant route by Doug Gabriel, enough for the 1st down.
So a 1st down with the football at the 45-yard line of the Cardinals. And almost a fumble. Fargas did well to hold on to it. There's no clean handoff from Collins to Fargas.
A little bit of a mix-up there that time in the footwork, either by the quarterback Collins or by Fargas, the tailback. They were
the 6-minute mark at its 2nd down and 7. Here comes the blitz. Raiders pick it up. And through the hands of Gabriel, and he would love to have that one back. Collins put it right where it had to be, and it will bring up a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, it was a blitz situation. Collins was able to hold his ground. The offensive line and back picked it up very well. Hit Gabriel right in the hands, and as you said, he'd like that one back. He doesn't do that very often.
You got to hold on to that baby, and you know he'll replay that about 5 times when they watch the tapes on Sunday or Monday.
It's the only pass I've seen him drop all preseason,
And you know,
practice.
You know, you're right, Grant. And coming into today's game, he led the NFL in reception yards of any receiver in the NFL.
All right, Oakland 2 of 5 on third down conversions. And right now it is 3rd and 7. 4-man rush. They stun up front. Raiders pick it up. Collins, and incomplete, and not able to hold on. He was right. Courtney Anderson had it in his hands, would have had a first down, but instead it will be a punting situation for the Raiders.
Another pass right on the money by Kerry Collins. Should have been an easy first down. 4-man rush. Zone defense. He finds Courtney Anderson on a corner route. Hits him right in the hands. Should have been a first down. Should have been a completion.
You know, for young receivers sometimes, it's very hard as Norv Turner talks to Anderson and Doug Gabriel listens on. Sometimes to catch the ball and have an awareness of where you are around the sidelines. That, to me, is what happened there. He lost his focus a little bit on the ball, trying to make sure he stayed in bounds.
Leckler will try to, again, kick it inside the 10. And the Raiders do a great job. They get down there and they down it at the 2 to 3 yard line. We'll see where the spot is, but that's 3 times here that Shane Leckler has nailed it inside the 10 on the Oakland Raiders television network. Guys, it's a lot of work for the people that try to cool off these players, the machines, but boy, look at all the ice. Man.
We could use one of those misters up here.
Wow.
Not a bad little deal.
How about that? Here we are. It's, what, 9 o'clock, and it's 99 degrees at 9 o'clock in the evening.
What was the kickoff? 102?
Yep.
So it's only dropped 3 degrees here in the last 2 hours.
All right, first down and 10. Josh McCown. He stays in at quarterback. Scobie is the tailback. And looking long, and it is caught. Nathan Poole has it all the way down to the 25-yard line of the Raiders. James Bethea on the coverage, but not before a long gain by the Arizona Cardinals.
And Bethea had him well covered. The ball was slightly underthrown. The receiver was able to stop for the reception as Bethea kept playing. It's just a good throw and catch. But pretty good coverage on Poole.
And Stuart Schweigert comes over, the rookie from Purdue, and makes the tackle. But how many times, guys, have you seen this when the ball is a little underthrown, the receiver come back and nag the ball out of the air?
You see it all the time.
See it all the time.
56 yards on the hookup. So the field position changes in a hurry down at the 24-yard line of the Raiders. They fake to Scobie. And McCown again using the legs to get out of pressure. And it is complete inside the 10, caught by Freddie Jones. And Freddie Jones and the Arizona Cardinals now with a 1st and goal down at the 6.
You know, as little as
Gigantino, the guys down in the field sweating it out as we're up here with a little air going on. McCown looking like he's changing the play right at the line of scrimmage on a 1st and goal at the 7. Scobie, the lone setback. End zone. Touchdown. It is caught by Poole. Nathan Poole had both feet down, and the Cardinals score the game's first touchdown.
And that was a planned play. You throw the ball to a spot. You allow the offensive man, the wide receiver, to run off the defender, come back to a spot. It's very effective. Extremely difficult if you're the defender as Nnamdi looks back, but it's too late because it's a touchdown.
Nathan Poole did a tremendous job to get both feet down there.
He really did.
And now the point after to make it a 10-point Cardinal lead with 3:40 left in the 3rd quarter. So the big 56-yard pass play sets up the touchdown by the Cardinals. And I think Norv Turner is going to review this play. The first angle right there.
It's a tough angle because it's the ball. He's up in the air. He's got possession. 1 foot, 2 foot. I think he's in.
Yeah.
I think it's a touchdown.
Question is, was the left foot down? The call.
After reviewing the play, the receiver did not have 2 feet in bounds. Therefore, the pass is incomplete. Oakland is not charged for timeout.
There you go. Good review.
Good review.
By Norv Turner.
And you know what? Norv and his coaches saw it right there along the sideline. So they have.
John Scobie lines up behind McCown, the quarterback. Scobie down to the 3, maybe the 2. And it'll be 3rd and goal.
You know, as I said earlier in the
Actually, you make it 3 tight ends. 3rd and goal. Scobie on the toss pitch. And he's in for the touchdown.
Nice job of running that time by Scobie. Derek Gibson got kicked out. He got up underneath and found the end zone.
You know, they proved me wrong, but I think they wanted to prove themselves that they're
I think you're right.
Punch the across the goal line from inside the 5-yard line.
I think you're absolutely right. You know, it's a good observation. Some nice blocking up front there by the offensive line and the fullback. But number 33 finds the end zone. Little nose for the end zone from the second-year man out of Kansas State, Josh Scobie.
And so a 10-point opportunity coming up for Neil Rackers to make it 13-3 with 2:55 left here in the 3rd. And it is good. When we come back, well, you talk about Raider legends. I had a chance to talk with Jim Otto yesterday, of course, the Hall of Fame center, and he said, what advice do you give Jake Grove? And he said, I don't really have to give him a lot of advice because he's playing so well as a rookie. You see the penalty marker going down as the ball was kicked out of bounds. But, I mean, hey, when a Hall of Fame center doesn't have to say a lot to a first-year player like Jake Grove, that tells you a lot.
You know, one of the things that he was saying about the attitude and the commitment to excellence is the same thing, you know, I said when I came to the Raiders, and so have several other players when they've been signed by the Raiders. That's the way you feel when you become part of the Raider organization.
Offside. Kicking team number 27. That penalty is declined. Kickoff out of bounds. Number 1, kicking team. The ball is placed 30 yards from the spot of the kick. First down.
Artie?
How cool is it, though, if you're a Jake Grove, to have a guy like a Jim Otto, Hall of Fame center, well-known guy, especially if you're a center, watching you every day in practice, talking to you, and kind of looking after you. It's big-time stuff.
Quarterback here in the 3rd quarter. Justin Fargus, the running back. That's Curry in motion. And it is complete. Gabriel holds on to this, and a first down for the Silver.
You know, it's amazing in the NFL, if you kick the ball out of bounds, it comes back to the 40 on a kickoff. What a price to pay. I mean, you're talking
center and guard respectively, but boy, the entire unit really doing a nice job in pass blocking. First down and 10. Here comes the blitz. And Collins off his back foot, just a little underthrow. Let's get down.
Nicked up this point in training camp. Will it be tough adjusting to getting Harris back? What's it going to be like getting these guys back in the fold?
It might be a little bit tough for them, but I think while they hurt, they still studying and stuff of that nature. But it shouldn't take too long for them to fall back into it.
Thank you, Travian. Back to you, Grant.
Well, during the open, we talked about the vertical passing game, and there it is for the Raider touchdown. And Kerry Collins put the ball right where it had to be, guys.
You know, and surprise, who's the receiver? Doug Gabriel, and another long pass from Kerry Collins.
Boy, what a beautifully thrown football, and brought in for Doug Gabriel, and now a chance to make it a 3-point contest.
An excellent concentration by Gabriel of watching the ball into his hands. He's got a size advantage over David Macklin, who's only 5'9".
And a point after is good. So with 2:13 left in the 3rd, the lead is cut to 3. 13-10 Cardinals. And another look at the hookup from Collins to Doug Gabriel.
You know, look at Gabriel. He just watches the ball beautifully, and Macklin is all over him. That could have been a penalty right there that was not called. But excellent, excellent concentration. Now, you take a look at the all-22. Here is Gabriel right here. He's going to run out, and he's going to run it up. It's an excellent pattern by him, but the ball, like we said, is thrown perfectly by Kerry Collins. The secondary of the Cardinals is no match for Doug Gabriel.
You know, not only that, Gabriel gave him room to lead him back to the outside on kind of a fade. It was perfectly thrown, perfectly executed all the way around.
Well, that's down the field. And Grant, excuse me, like I said, though, when you kick the ball out of bounds for the Cardinals, you're giving the Oakland Raiders a 60-yard, it's like arena football, a 60-yard field in which to operate.
Short kick, Scobie at the 9. Well covered by the Raiders. They stop at the 24-yard line. So 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in the days with the Dallas Cowboys. Ron Stone, a member of the Cowboys several years ago. Look out, there comes the blitz. Loose football, and it came off the corner. Nobody picked up Tommy Kelly, and McCown is still down. Tommy Kelly came around the corner, and boy, did he lay a pop. Beg your pardon, it was Grant Irons, not Kelly. Grant Irons, 96, not 95. Grant Irons, watch him, guys, come around the corner untouched.
Well, you see it to the right, Jim, and bang, he knocks the ball out before he knocks McCown down. And as a quarterback, you don't want that to happen, especially when a guy like Irons, who is 6'6", 285.
Wow.
And out of Notre Dame, big, strong, fast guy.
And they get the football right back for Kerry Collins.
Yeah, and that's the pressure football that Rob Ryan was talking about. Come after the quarterback, bring your blitz packages, get to him, make him either throw a bad throw or cough up the football.
Boy, McCown really was rattled on that sack by Irons. Fargas off the step. Fargas. And Fargas is all the way inside the 10. It'll be a 1st and goal for the Raiders.
The momentum of this game has changed dramatically. And the Raider Nation that's in the stands is saying, wow, what a great place. Now you see Fargas start to his, but he cuts it all the way back. And that's the mark of a good back. When you can make a defender in the hole miss you, that's an excellent job.
Looked just like the play he ran for a touchdown a week ago against the Cowboys.
Yes, it did.
Same type of move. Kerry Collins on a 1st and goal. Justin Fargas, and he's down to the 2.
You know, as you mentioned earlier, Artie, Justin Fargas adds the explosiveness to the Raider backfield. He gets through the hole quickly, makes people miss at the point of attack, and breaks tackles, gets down, finds a way to get into the secondary very quickly. Very tough guy to bring down. Big hole up the middle. There he's tackled, but a great show of speed by Justin Fargas.
Teo Johnson comes in. Extra tight end. Fargas the running back. Doug Gabriel up top on a 2nd and goal. Hetherington is in a fullback. Fargas stopped at the 1.
This is called smash mouth football. Hand the ball off inside. Have your fullback.
Going to have to run a play. And let's see, what did the clock say down there? They just changed it. And this will do it for the 3rd quarter. So they'll let it run down. There's a 2-second differential. And when we come back, the Raiders will have a 3rd and goal, trying to take the lead on the Oakland Raiders television network.
Press box in the National Football League by far.
All right, let's see what Kerry Collins and the Raiders do here on 3rd and goal. Teo Johnson in motion. Fargas will leap for it. Justin Fargas, touchdown. Flag down. I believe the Cardinals.
It looked from first observation that the Cardinals were offsides.
And if that's the call, the Raiders will take the lead.
Offsides. Defense. Nose guard. Penalty time. Touchdown.
Boy, you like that leap by Justin Fargas? He went right over the top, guys.
It reminds me of Marcus Allen going high above the tacklers. Way high.
Talk about athletic ability. You know what's good about it, too? When he's going over the top, he lowers his shoulder, so the linebacker's not going to sit there and hit him.
All right, Baker with the point after attempt, trying to make it a 4-point game. And he does. So we've got just a few seconds gone by in the 4th quarter. The Raiders now leading 17-13 on the Oakland Raiders television network.
How does it look? Possible sprain, could be tendonitis. We need this right arm. It's just been overworked. Can you give it another try?
Ooh. Writing too many checks lately? The Visa check card can automatically pay some monthly bills on time, like electric, cable, telephone, even your health club.
That's Tory with 2 R's.
The Visa check card can give your check writing arm a break.
Momentum. Those last 2 drives were momentum. A couple big plays, the bad kickoff, and then obviously the turnover.
Back deep, Fabian Davis, and he's at the 6. And he runs it out to the 26-yard line. Timeout, 4th quarter, with the Raiders leading 17-13 on the Oakland Raiders television network.
I play quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. I also play in the Bronx Fat Guys League. I'm part of the Chicken Monkeys, the most dominant fantasy football franchise in South.
Sean King spent his first 5 years in Tampa Bay. Now a member of the Arizona Cardinals. Scobie. And he's to the 34-yard line.
Sean King out of Tulane. Wants to be a politician someday. I remember I was doing a game for Fox and we did Tulane once, and I was shocked at how small his hands were for a quarterback, for a guy that threw the ball so well and for so many yards. He didn't have a very big grip, so to speak, Jim, on the football. Does that matter?
I don't think so. There's so many quarterbacks in the league, both in college and professionally, that hold the ball either closer to the end because of their smaller hands or more towards the middle if they have a larger hand.
They fake to Kroom and they give to Fabian Davis. And Davis is out to the 40-yard line, and he has an Arizona first down. Only had 4 yards to get. So that will make it 1st and 10. Well, we've talked a lot about guys fighting for jobs tonight because on Tuesday, NFL rosters have to be down to 65, and then September 5th, 53-man roster has to be in place. And then the season starts on Thursday night, September 9th.
I'm looking forward to all of that, especially the start of the season.
Kroom. Oh, big hit right there as Kroom got to the 43-yard line, and a very good hit by Sharon, or rather Tim Johnson. Tim Johnson that time looked like he really put the leather on him.
He really did, and Bobby Brooks was also in there. The young linebackers of the Raiders are guys that we're talking about.
Sean King on a 2nd and 6. Kroom, and he's swallowed up. Boy, good play there. Patty Zellner, who's only been with the ball club for 2 weeks. I thought he played well when he came in the 4th quarter. All right, 3rd down and 7. And it'll be a first down. It is complete. Lorenzo Diamond, and Diamond is across the 45 to the 43-yard line, brought down by the rookie Stuart Schweigert from Purdue. We understand that is
using the tight ends right now, Jim, and the backs, maybe more than Denny Green had anticipated.
And there's Tim Johnson again. Boy, he did the job there. Brought down the ball carrier Kroom. Down in 5 for the Cardinals. They keep it on the ground at Kroom. Nothing doing. Absolutely nothing doing on that side of the line of scrimmage. Again, it was Grant Irons who forced a turnover off the sack on the last Cardinal possession. And he was out there and again wrapped up Kroom.
You know, these young players are trying to.
It's 3rd down and 5 for Sean King and the Cardinals.
Little mix up there on personnel.
Yeah, Raiders only had 10 players on the field.
Additions to the Raiders defensive line, Bobby Hamilton. And Bobby, how's things going?
It's going great so far. You know, at first that we started off a little slower, but we put together and put a good defensive stop together, and the second unit's out there doing a good job right now. So we got to keep working and showing everybody that when you play as a unit, you can do a lot of things. That's what we planning to do this year.
Now, you played with Rob Ryan with his defense, and you know about Rob Ryan's defense. Tell us a little bit about Rob Ryan and what can we expect from his defense?
You got to think about it. Ryan is a good coach. Plus, he's been around. Got a dad is a great coach, playing defense coordinator and a head coach. So, you know, all you got to do is just be patient and just listen to him, man, because he's going to get a job done. You know, we've been on a team that won 2 Super Bowls in New England, and I think Oakland Raiders did a good job bringing a coach like this in as a defense coordinator. And all we got to do is just in the system and just believe in them, because if you believe in them, you're going to get a lot of things done, and that's what you're seeing right now.
Okay, man, thanks for your time. Back to you, Grant.
All right, George. And run out of bounds to quarterback Sean King by Kelly and Johnson. Flag down on the play with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. And an eligible man downfield, but they didn't throw the football, did they?
Yes, they did.
All right. That's right. That's right. He was run out of bounds. I was watching George interview Bobby and thought he was out of bounds. But you're right. He did throw the ball, and an ineligible man obviously declined. Ronald Curry is at his 10-yard line. Fair catch call by Curry. And that's where the Raiders will start 1st and 10 with nearly 5 minutes gone by here in the 4th quarter. Season, he's 16 of 25 for 256 yards and a touchdown. He has played very, very well for the Raiders. 0-8. to the 11-yard line goes Amos Zeroué. He didn't play last week because of the leg injury, but he's back and he's getting some work here in the fourth quarter. Penalty marker down.
You know, those statistics on Marcus Tuiasosopo don't tell you how much trouble he's gotten himself out of with his feet.
Yep.
Taking off and running the ball and making sackers miss him. Would-be sackers.
No indication yet on the penalty.
After the play was over, personal foul, offense number 60. Great hit. The down counts, half the distance to the goal, second down.
Well, Blaine Saipea, the personal foul there after the play. I didn't see what he did, guys.
I didn't either.
I think it's a pile-on. Saipea, number 60, is going to come in and be a little bit too aggressive at the end. You know, you like the fact that he's hustling down the field, but you don't like the fact that it was clearly after the ball had been blown dead. Trying to make the team. He plays both center and guard. He's got a shot, like everybody does, of making this Oakland Raider roster.
All right, second down and 15. The ball is at the 6. Hetherington in front of Zeroué. Zeroué, nice job to get some breathing room as he runs out to the 15, stopped 18, just shy of the first down. A very nice run by Zeroué, and it's going to be 1 yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, and he's more of a third down back, although he's got some good quickness about him. He gets up the field, makes some people miss, picks up about 14 yards on that carry, just 1 yard shy of the first down. Very fine receiver out of the back.
There's Zeroué. See top of the screen, number 10, Carlos Francis into the game for the first time, who had 2 touchdowns in the opener against San Francisco. Tuiasosopo. And just overthrown, intended for Whitty. And that's going to be fourth down. Interesting call on 3rd and a yard.
Well, I'm sure there were other options by Marcus Tuiasosopo, but he elected to go deep to Alvis Whitted. Overthrown a little bit, but yeah, you're right. Look for the sure first down in that situation. You don't have to give up the ball.
You know what, though, guys? What it does, it puts the fear into the secondary of Pittsburgh and Buffalo, those early opponents, knowing that the Raiders might not just hand the ball off on those short yardage situations, but they'll go deep.
Fabian Davis back deep. Takes a Raiders bounce. Davis at the 32. And he's run out of bounds. Carlos Francis, there is a penalty marker down back at the 18-yard line. That may be the Raiders leaving too soon on the play. I didn't see the preliminary call, but the flag was dropped at the line of scrimmage.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 51. 10-yard penalty. Arizona keeps the ball. First down.
James Darling obviously holding somebody of the Raiders at the line of scrimmage. Timeout, 8:52 left, fourth quarter. Raiders with the lead on the Oakland Raiders television network.
To be standing next to a fellow Penn Stater here, Kerry Collins. Kerry, I want to welcome you to the Raiders. How has your adjustment gone coming to the silver and black and adjusting to Turner's offense?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, I feel like I've been well received here in Oakland, and you know, it's a real honor for me to put on the silver and black and play for Mr. Davis. Norv's a great offensive mind and a guy that you know, I'm very excited to play for as well.
It seems like a real no-lose situation for you. You are welcome. Your style of play fits in well with the vertical passing game. Tell me, what do you think of the young receiving core that we have at the Raiders, and what do you see in them to work with this season?
I'll tell you, I'm really excited about the young guys we have on offense, our receivers especially. Doug Gabriel, of course, who's had a pretty good season. Ron Curry, who I think is going to be a heck of a player. Alvis Whitted, speed guy. Carlos Francis, Johnny Moran. Young guys who have a lot of ability. And, of course, Jerry Porter, who's getting his first opportunity to start, and I think he's going to come up big for us this year. So I'm really excited about our receiving core. I think it's the best in the league.
Great. There is no quarterback controversy here at the Raiders, but we are blessed to have the quality talent that we have in this man right here. Thank you. Back to you, Grant.
All right, Wiz, appreciate it very much. And, boy, you got 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks with Rich Gannon and Kerry Collins. You're in great shape. I mean, you could make the argument, and, of course, I don't know who could possibly argue the topic, but I don't think you could find a better 1-2 combination in the National Football League at quarterback than what the Raiders have with Gannon and Collins.
Absolutely. I can't think of another team offhand that has 2 quality quarterbacks, and with Marcus
playing very well.
You know,
that's right.
Playing extremely well, being the 3rd QB.
You know what strikes you, though, when you watch him? How big he is. I mean, he's 6'5", almost 245, standing next to an offensive guard for a long time in the NFL, Steve Wisniewski, and Kerry's bigger. whiz.
And I'll tell you something else you don't hear a lot about Kerry Collins, but he's tough. You know, he got knocked down a lot last year with that bad offensive line with the Giants. He didn't miss a game. He's a tough guy. And he gets back up, and boy, what a nice addition to the silver and black. And Collins with a nice third quarter has handed over controls to Marcus Tuiasosopo, who's working in the fourth quarter right now. Obviously, the Cardinals with the football, 1st and 10 as we approach the 7-minute mark in the fourth. There's the size. I mean, he's bigger than the offensive lineman, for crying out loud. He definitely is a good-sized quarterback. Sean King. And it's on the ground to Larry Kroon. And the UNLV product knocked out of bounds. Flag down.
You know, flags seem to appear a lot more in the fourth quarter of these preseason games. You know, young players, this is going to be a hold against the Cardinals. Young players trying to do a good job have a tendency to move their hands where they shouldn't be.
Offense number 64. Yard penalty. First down.
You know, and again, I think it's important to point out here we got 6 minutes and 54 seconds left. Yeah, it's the fourth quarter. Yeah, it's preseason. But the reality is a lot of players on the field right now, this is their last chance to make an impression on the coaching staff to make that cut on Tuesday.
Absolutely. And even though most decisions have already been made, there are still people who have an opportunity to make this ball club, either the Cardinals or the Raiders right now.
Yeah, and the reality is that all eyes in the National Football League look at the preseason games, and if there's not a spot on the respective teams, there are a lot of other teams in the NFL looking for quality players here. And Asamoah comes up to make the hit.
Tim Johnson's there.
Tim Johnson, as you're right there. Schweigert, the rookie draft pick out of Purdue, was there as they converged on Eric Edwards, the tight end.
As Bobby Brooks. Now you look at this. This is gang tackling. I used to call it swarming to the football, but defensive coaches, and I know Rob Ryan's going to like it, they love it when 4 or 5 guys are in on the tackle, especially guys that are coming a long distance, because what does that mean? That means everybody's hustling. Tim Johnson, 51, one of those players.
2nd down and 9. Under 6 minutes left here in the fourth. King looking long. A man is open. And it is caught. Ball was underthrown. And it was caught. Schweigert on the coverage, but Newhouse able to come down with the football. Reggie Newhouse's first reception, a long gain, and it's down the 17-yard line of the Raiders.
You know, somehow he got behind Schweigert down the middle of the football field. And if it was a zone defense, he should be deeper than the deepest guy down there. But it's man-to-man. And Schweigert gets behind Schweigert, a young player trying to learn to play safety in the National Football League.
And another case of the ball being underthrown and the receiver, Jim, coming back for it, and the defender goes past him because he's running down the field.
Damian Anderson gets the handoff from King. And he's stopped after a gain of 2 on the play. He gets down to the 15-yard line. David Nugent, one of the Raiders there to make contact. Also, you look at big Tordell Sands out of Tennessee, Chattanooga, 2nd-year player.
7', 335. Did a stint in NFL Europe and with the Green Bay Packers. And, you know, I think he's played pretty well. He's such a big guy. He's very difficult to block, especially in pass situations, one-on-one. Had a big sack last week against Dallas.
2nd down and 8. Corner of the end zone, incomplete. Penalty marker down. It's on Asamoah. He's called for the illegal contact. And it will be a 1st down for the Arizona Cardinals.
Might be, no, it's against the Raiders holding. Or illegal contact, as you say. But man, that ball was so uncatchable.
Yeah, it was.
1st down. You see Rob Ryan to the right and North Turner. Now Rob's on the left. He can't believe the call, shaking his head. Animated coach, which is what you have to be, I think, the coach defense in the NFL.
Spent some time here in Arizona with the Cardinals for 2 years.
As did his brother with their father.
You know, Buddy Ryan was accused of nepotism at the time, you know, and he said, hey, I'm going to hire the best coaches. I don't care if they're my sons or my brothers. It's nepotism, excuse me. And, you know, Buddy Ryan was a real character, and I'd leave a guy up like him to have an answer like that.
Kroom and King miscommunicated, and it was King falling on the ball. So now the football comes out past the 10-yard line and all the way out to the 15-yard line. There's the miscommunication, and King did well to fall on you. See, now he would have been in big trouble, Plunk, if he had fumbled that ball instead of just falling. I see how he tried to pick it up and run with it.
Right.
You got lucky there. Boy, so often you see players try to pick it up and run, and they get knocked down, and the ball squirts loose.
And the ball is not round.
Nope.
It's a little tough to pick up.
That's why he takes 5 bounces.
All right, they've got 15 yards to go. They can't make a first down. It is 2nd and goal. And near side, it goes to Anderson, Damian Anderson, and hit immediately Asamoah there. He was the first one to make contact. Also, Bobby Brooks on the coverage. And they rush 3. They break through, and King underneath. Kroom, and he'll be stopped right there at the 12. Now you got to figure that Arizona guys, with 3 minutes left, Denny Green's going to call a timeout, decision time. Do you try to kick a field goal and then do an onside kick, or do you go for it on 4th and goal? That's the decision right now for that man, Denny Green.
I think you go for the touchdown because there's nothing that's going to guarantee if you kick a field goal, you're going to get the ball back, especially the way the Raiders have done a pretty good job of moving the ball tonight.
Now they're going to kick a field goal.
Boy, I don't know about this.
Look at the pursuit on defense here.
Yeah, look at the pressure, too. It's only a 3-man, but you see the guy we've mentioned quite a bit tonight, number 96, Grant Irons, coming off the corner, throwing the tackle aside, and putting pressure on King.
Yep.
His rush forced the ball to get dumped off.
Did you see the first thing he did? He looked at the official as if to say, hey, I'm no roughing there. Don't throw that flag.
You know what?
On me.
It wasn't.
No, of course not. But you see, that's the first thing he did is he looked at the official. And the Cardinals are going to go for 3 here, as you see Neil Rackers. And really, you know, with 2:58 left, they're down to a timeout. They don't have to try an onside kick.
Right, they don't.
They'll get the 2-minute warning. They get a timeout. They'll still get the ball back if they hold the Raiders 3 and out.
Or you do 2 things. You try for the onside kick, gives one opportunity. Otherwise, you got to try and hold them for 3 downs. Call your timeouts in between.
First thing first, the Rackers has to make the field goal. 2 minutes and 58 seconds on the clock. And it is good. So it's a 1-point game at 17-16.
Being an old special teams coach, let me give you this wisdom. This is an opportunity also in game conditions to try your onside kick team.
Just playing as if they're going to get the onside kick. Carlos Francis is back deep for the Raiders. And he kicks away, and Francis backs up. And Francis, the speedster, lets it bounce out of the end zone, and that's where the Raiders will touch the ball 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. So now Denny Green will send the defense out. They have 1 timeout left. The Raiders with 2 timeouts, and obviously the clock will stop in 54 seconds. Marcus Tuiasosopo getting instructions from Norv Turner as they come out onto the field.
Keep the ball in bounds.
Yep.
Don't throw an incomplete. Keep the clock running. Do not call timeout. And obviously, if you get first down, you're probably going to win the game if you maintain possession of it. Norv talking to Ronald Curry and Carlos Francis as they come off the field.
Saraway lines up behind Hetherington. Amos Zaraway cut back, and he's to the 24-yard line, and that's it. And now clock continues to run until the Cardinals call their final timeout with 2:46 left. Boy, this is where you love having Marcus Tuiasosopo in the game too, guys, because we've seen him utilize the game so much in the first 2 preseason games. And you know, this is where Tui, if he doesn't have anything, will be able to keep the football himself. I'm sure with 2:46 left, they'll go over and talk to Norv Turner. And, you know, maybe they'll run a safe play, Plunk, where maybe they look to pass and utilize Tui's running skills.
Yeah, I think they're going to probably run the ball at least 1 more time. Let them use another timeout, the Cardinals. But, you know, on the other hand, this is the first game of the preseason where Tui has not been able to come through with heroics to help win a football game and put the ball down the field. So I think it's a little disappointing that he's just going to be standing there and handing off.
Teo Johnson is in. Johnny Morant is in. Hetherington, fullback. Zaraway, halfback.
You'll see the Cardinal defenders here, Grant, trying to strip the football.
Absolutely.
Without the timeout left, without no timeouts left, they got to knock the ball, jar the ball loose somehow, some way.
Hetherington in motion. Zaraway. And Zaraway short of the first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short. Cardinals cannot stop the clock, and this will run all the way down to the 2-minute warning.
It looks like it's going to be 3rd and less than 1. So again, you expect the Oakland Raiders to try to pound the ball up. This is a good job by Zaraway. It's a counter play. He gets a little shuffle step to the right, gets out to the left. Big old Corey Holsley, number 71, in front of him, leading the way. Johnny Morant gets knocked on the pile. Good effort that time by the offensive line. It's famous Amos, number 28.
Well, we're at the 2-minute warning, and that means when we come back, the Raiders will have a yard to go to basically win the football game. They're on top 17-16 right here on the Oakland Raiders television network.
The word silver and black. I really believe you can go anywhere in the world. And obviously it's a sports vernacular, but if you say the silver and black, they'll know who you're talking about. I don't think there's any other team that can go anywhere in the world. If you want to talk about the green of the Celtics, you have to say Celtic green. You have to say Dodger blue, Yankee pinstripe. But if you say silver and black, they know who you're talking about.
And Zaraway, I don't know, he's going to be awfully close. That is going to be awfully close as Norv Turner looks on.
Yeah, and you know what? The good news is the clock is still running. The bad news is it might not be a first down, but the good news is it is a first down. This ought to be the game for the Raiders.
Yep, that is going to be the game because the Cardinals cannot stop the clock. So the Raiders will get on the plane with a 1-point victory.
What you didn't want to do there is have to punt, obviously, because you get a punt blocked or you fumble the snap. All kinds of things obviously can go wrong.
Now they may be asking to review the spot from upstairs.
Could be.
And I believe that's exactly what has happened as the referee Bill Vinovich is being called to the sidelines, and they're going to look at the spot.
It's going to be hard to tell from any angle for us because of the piling and the players getting in the way.
Well, I'll
but
tell
it sure as heck looks like a first down to me. Doesn't it?
Nah, you know, to me, it
looked like he was short of that line.
I agree with you. He was short of the line.
Does he have to go to the line?
He has to go to the line because there was a touchback. Man, Carlos Francis did not return the ball already.
See if the line of gain was reached.
So he had to actually touch the 30-yard line and plunk that replay. That did not look like he got to the line. But again, maybe we'll have a different angle of it. Now, if that's the case, they'll put the time back on the clock.
Correct.
And the Raiders will be in a punt situation. Again, that replay, we could look at that again. That, to me, looked like he did not get to the line.
See Norv Turner saying to Joe Albazano, you better get ready for punt. Here it is again. Ball gets hit up inside. Zaraway's got the ball. Ball is, well, here's the line, obviously. Line is right here, but just depends on where the referee says. The linesman said the ball went down. Courtney Anderson, number 49 on top, trying to bring the ball across. You know, going back to that Al Davis piece, I think Mr. Davis is so accurate about that. Anywhere you go, if you say the silver and black, people know it means the Oakland Raiders.
Ball spotted.
Viewing the play, due to the touchback, the line to gain was the 30-yard line. The runner's arm was short of the 30-yard line, therefore it is 4th down.
And they'll put time back on the clock.
We're going for one and one.
Well, Grant, you had good eyes on that.
Well, you know, again, I think it was pretty apparent on that replay that he did not get to the line. And now we will see the punting unit of the Raiders come onto the field. Baker in punt formation. Good snap. And it looks like they set up the return. Davis on one hop.
Got to get out of bounds.
Now the clock's going to stop anyway. 50 seconds down to 49. Clock is going to be down at the 37, 38-yard line. And again, no timeouts for the Arizona Cardinals. There's John Navarro, who's looked very good. He's the quarterback out of Michigan, and he's had a very, very good camp 6'6", 245, big strong arm player from Michigan. He was a 7th-round pick. He's 6'6" and 250.
12 out of 13 so far this year in the preseason for 168 yards. And prior to tonight, has been the only quarterback to lead to a touchdown for the Cardinals.
Fuck, how about that? You sit for 3 hours and 15 minutes, and the coach calls you on with 49 seconds and says, go out there and win the game for us.
Well, if you're a rookie, you better be ready.
First down and 10 for
Way to be sentimental.
Navarre and the Arizona Cardinals. 3-man rush. Underneath. And Kroom has it. Clock moving. Short gain across the 45. They need about 20 yards to attempt a field goal. 2nd and 3. And caught down to the 36-yard line. Tim Johnson on the coverage as it was brought down by Lorenzo. And now Navarre will go up and spike the football in all likelihood. And right now they are in the field goal range. It would be a 52-yard kick, but there is a penalty marker down. You know what? They weren't set for a count. That's going to be a 5-yard
Yeah,
penalty.
I agree. That's exactly what the penalty was.
That's a big penalty right now with 15 seconds left, because that basically puts you out of field goal range.
But once again, Navarre's come in and done a very good job of moving this.
Offense number 49. 5-yard penalty. Still first down. Reset the clock to 5 seconds.
And also
penalty results in a 10-second runoff. We're going to ride.
Look at that. Because no timeouts left, that's a 10-second penalty. That just is a bad mistake by the Cardinals.
It is, but as I was trying to say prior, Navarre's moved this ball club once again. In every situation he's been put in, he's been able to complete passes, move the ball.
This is the right call. They're going to send out their kicker, Neil Rackers, in this thin desert air and try to win it. But they didn't get it off because they were out of timeouts. You know, that's just amazing that, during all of that, they could have had the field goal unit out on the field, set up and ready to go. But guess what? The Silver and Black win it. They win it by a point on a wild, wacky finish here at Sun Devil Stadium. So Norv Turner will get his troops ready for the finale Thursday that we'll have for you at the Coliseum in Oakland. Final score, Oakland 17, Arizona 16. You've been watching the Raiders on the Oakland Raiders Television Network.